It's no surprise that up here in Canada, we pay some of the most expensive phone plans out there in the entire world. And this doesn't just include our phone plan, it also includes our internet plan. And it has so many citizens in this country just wondering like, why? Why do we pay so much money for like essential things that are like in modern technology everyone should have? So the good thing for you guys is that I have a lovely YouTube video that I'm going to show with you guys. It's from CBC News, and they have this series called The Marketplace, and this is a series that it's kind of like a undercover series where they look into different markets, industries, and they kind of just expose them for what they are. I'm quite confident that maybe you or someone you know is paying hundreds of dollars for a cell phone plan. So why don't you and I react to this video, and I'll give you my experience as a person that used to work in the telecom industry, and I'll tell you some of the tricks that I use when I'm trying to negotiate my Canadian phone plan. So if that sounds good with you, give this video a good old smash, and now let's begin.
These three Canadians are looking to slash their sky-high cell bills. Jeff Scott's trouble is with Telus, Deborah Prenger's singing the blues with Bell, and Steve K, he's ready to rumble with Rogers.
Anyone that's living up in Canada, basically you're kind of forced with those three main telecom providers, Bell, Rogers, and Telus. You almost have to choose your poison, right? It's like Pokemon, right? Do you want Charmander, do you want Bulbasaur, or do you want Squirtle?
Here to help them, veteran negotiator Mohammed Halabi.
You're actually a professional cell phone plan negotiator.
Yes,
This is what you do for a living.
For a living.
And you've done it for years.
For years. That's why I've lost my hair.
How exactly does one get the title of professional cell phone negotiator? Director and founder of My Bills Are High Inc. Sounds a little sketchy, don't you think?
I'm with Telus and I pay 108 with tax.
And you're paying more than you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deborah?
I'm with Bell, and I pay an average of $438 a month.
Come again?
$438 a month. There's myself and my two university-age kids are also on the plan.
Steve?
I'm with Rogers. I have 4 lines and I pay about $412 a month.
So context obviously matters, because if you're paying one phone for $400, then there's a problem over there. But it does sound like from all these three people, they're all averagely paying about like $100 per line, which is still quite a bit of money. But there's also, it depends on like if they're doing financing with their plan, or is it just the plan itself, right? Because if it's the phone and the plan, then it's a little bit more justifiable.
It's been a day of being in the dark for Rogers customers.
When the Rogers outage left a quarter of the country cut off,
when one thing goes down, it kind of all just collapses.
about the only call getting through was a wake-up call.
They have alternative and they have choice.
You think Canadians have alternative and choice in this marketplace?
Very much so.
And you're saying that with a straight face?
I remember this distinctly because it was a work day, and some of my coworkers obviously used Rogers at the time, so basically half of us couldn't even use our internet.
Now Steve's asking Rogers for a better deal.
I just want to transfer my phones over.
And we're asking, how do we all get a better deal? And who's blocking calls for it?
Here's the big secret if you ever want a cheaper phone or internet plan. And whenever you're calling your service provider, whether that's Bell, Rogers, or Telus, you call them and you say, whoever you're talking to, you say, don't care, just let me talk to loyalty and retention. That's the big key of it, okay? You do that, and I guarantee you your prices will go down with enough back and forth conversation.
Now, they're calling up the little competition there is to see if others can do better.
Call will be recorded.
Steve's first up. Remember, he's with Rogers.
Thank you for calling Telus.
But he's giving Telus a try.
See how quickly they answered the call?
Mohammed says this kind of speedy service often goes to potential customers, not loyal clients.
It's also best whenever you're calling your phone plan provider that you already have some sort of like leverage with it. Like I find this trick works the best. So let's just say that like Boxing Day just passed recently, and Boxing Day had some sort of deal with, say, I don't know, Rogers or something, right? So let's just say they're offering like $60 for your plan, right? So what you do is you shop around, okay? You first go to Rogers, and you don't commit to Rogers, but then you go to like Telus or something, and then you say, hey, look guys, this is what they're providing me, this is the prices that they're charging me, can you beat it? And if you beat it, then I join with you.
He should be asking them, what is the best price you can give me for a 20 gigabyte plan or 30 gigabyte plan, right? Something more tailored to his usage, right?
Right now, my plan includes 135 gigabytes, but I don't need that much.
I always hate it when I'm talking to the agent over the phone and then they start asking me like all these questions like,
well, what do you use the internet for? Do you work from home? Do you play like PlayStation? Do you game on your laptop?
Like stop asking me all these questions. Like I understand the principle why they're asking me these questions because they're trying to like get a tailored internet speed package, but like go away. Like I just mind my own business. I just want a specific speed tier.
5 minutes in and the bargaining begins.
Which would definitely help you to get some savings today.
Let's get to the number. Let's get to the number. Come on.
But to get to that number, another 10 minutes and a whole lot of details will spare you.
$230.
Yeah.
230.
230.
Let me just figure this out. 230 for all 4 lines.
So that is 30.
We can see that he can literally save, almost $200 a month
By switching.
by switching.
Can he now convert that offer from Telus to a better deal at Rogers? And is this really what it takes?
Here's the thing, everything's all tracked. Whenever you call these internet or phone providers, everything is tracked. They always say like the whole, this phone conversation is recorded, right? Because it very well is, and they can go back to it. So whatever they promise, one, they have a ticket number assigned to you for every call that you, when you're calling. And then secondly, is that you can always use it as a reference. And then if not, go to the second provider and tell them that here's what the other provider gave me, can you beat it? And then if so, I will join you today, and you go, and you're good for the next 1 or 2 years.
It's been left up to each of us to find our own deal.
Welcome to Rogers.
Easier said than done for our tester Deborah, who dreads calling. She's with Bell, but she's checking out Rogers first.
Oh, you see how quickly they answered?
Seconds.
This is why I've lost my hair. This right there.
And just like Steve, as a potential customer, her call is answered in less than 2 minutes.
Let's just say that I have my fair share of calling my service provider, and I don't think the how quick they answer has to do with anything with like them really wanting your services. Because here's the thing, I'm pretty sure when you call these agents, like it's not just going to be the same agent. So it's just a matter of how busy they are in the day. I have noticed though that you probably want to catch them on a better time when people are usually nicer when there's like not as much people they're dealing with, if that makes sense. So calling people rather in the morning is a good time, or maybe in the evening is more chill. But you call in the middle of the day when like everyone's like all calling them, then yeah, probably not. That's when they're probably a little bit more pissy.
So this is Rogers. They have their essential plan, $85. But if I go and change it to Saskatchewan, that $85 goes down by $10 to $75. Same thing over at Bell if you change it to Quebec. What's going on? Some provinces have a regional competitor.
So that will be $170 plus tax.
Nearly $70 less a month.
You did a great job, so kudos to you.
Armed with options, Deborah calls her provider Bell, expecting an even better deal.
I want to see if Bell can match those rates.
But quickly finds Bell won't budge.
It depends on who you're talking to, okay? Like I had so many times where like if I had a good deal from, let's just say Bell gave me a good offer and I'm going to Rogers and being like, can you match it? And the first person I talked to is like, can't do it. I don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of this deal, blah, 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 blah. But if I called the same like provider, if I called Rogers again, but talk to someone else that's a little bit nicer, I've seen differences.
How you feeling?
Depressed. I mean, none of us have time for this stuff.
It's time consuming.
Yeah.
There could be a variance between agent to agent.
So sometimes you may have to make more than one phone call?
100%.
Deborah calls it a day.
It does take like hours of your day. I will admit to that. And not a lot of people want to do this. Like say you're working your whole day, 9 to 5, and then you come home, have to eat, shower, and then you have to deal with this. Like ain't nobody got time for this.
Third tester, Jeff. He's with Telus. But a quick search on Bell's website suggests he could save $10 a month by switching.
I'd like to call about my existing cell plan.
One little trick that I have to say is that these prices that you see on the website, whether that's for cell phone or internet, so say you're paying for internet for a certain speed tier that's $125. The provider knows that rarely anyone ever jumps to that paying $125. And if you do, I'd suggest calling them and getting it checked out because you can get it way lower. They already assume that like you're gonna get a promotion with it, so you're realistically your price for that internet is probably closer to like $60, $70, maybe even $80. But what they do is they jack it up so that you feel incentivized and you feel happy that they gave you a promotion.
And then he ups the ante again, asking to speak to a manager.
Hi, Mohammed, I have my colleague on the line. How are you doing today?
I'm not that happy right now.
As the call escalates, so do tempers when the Telus manager puts the onus on Jeff for his roaming woes.
There have been several times that I believe Jeffrey has been informed that how to prevent these charges.
I'm not going to accept that. He's being charged for something he doesn't use. In Canada, I expect the charges credited back. He hasn't gone to the US, he deserves his money back.
With no resolution on roaming, talk returns to the monthly plan.
It is $80, my friend.
Okay, no. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend.
Ooh, that's brutal. I'm not your friend. You know, it sounds really bad, but I can kind of relate to the frustration that this guy is having. Because when I'm calling, I am pretty brutal. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, look, you better give me my deal or like I'm out. Like, I'm always 1 foot out the door. And that's actually a really good tip. Always have this narrative in your head whenever you're calling and you're negotiating. Always assume that you're 1 foot out the door, because when you're 1 foot out the door, you care less about what you're saying and they're more likely to also give you a better deal.
Are you calling me a liar? Because I'm telling you, he said 75. Did he say 75? I would like this call escalated. I'm not happy with your service. I would like to speak to your supervisor.
Yeah, I can request for a call back.
Excellent.
The turnaround time is 72 hours.
Or you could just probably do what you should do, and that's escalate it to the manager. Now, I know that a lot of people are scared to talk to the manager. Believe me, the managers are more flexible. They're more coherent. They're just a lot nicer. Every agent at the telecom place has different access to promotions, right? And a manager has more lucrative offers than a regular agent that's the front line. So that's why you want to talk to a manager, because the managers has a lot more promotions or deals that they can incentivize you should things go sour.
So, Mansing, I think I'd like to take the offer that you put out there.
Here's competition at work.
There we go.
How much has he saved?
He's going to save almost $4,000 over the course of 2 years.
And all of us could do this.
All of us can do this.
Everyone can do this, and realistically, people who are watching this probably won't do it, okay? Because I'm telling you, it's a lot of tedious, boring work of just talking to a person, understand. But here's the thing: if you understand the game, kind of like what these salespeople are trying to do, then you're more prepared. Whenever you're calling your internet or phone provider, always be doing something else, okay? Do not just sit on your chair and just be calling them like the whole time, just being like, because it's a waste of time, okay? I play a game of chess, okay? Cook food, and like don't let them waste your time, because they will waste your time.
Meanwhile, Jeff Scott's still waiting to hear from Telus. And Deborah? She takes Mohammed's advice and calls Bell again. This time, a different agent gets her a better deal. $55 less a month.
I told you, this person did it. I told you, it really depends on who you're talking to. Some person could just be having like a bad day, or they just don't want to do their job, or whatever the case is. But you call someone else, you can tell. I've called too many providers at this point where I just know, just by their tonality, in the first like 10 seconds, I know if they're gonna be someone that's probably gonna help me or someone that's likely gonna just give me a hard time. So anyhow, with that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed me react to the marketplace and how you can lower your cell phone plan. Let me tell you, anyone can do it. It's just a matter of calling them, talking to retention, escalating if you need to, and then making sure you talk to a kind agent. But anyone can do it. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.